So there's a YouTuber that I follow, and I love her. She's amazing.
Do you wanna give her a shout out?
No, I don't, because I don't want to. And if you do know who you are, I do love you. I think you're amazing, but because of the way she does her videos, I had a misunderstanding of how a certain country was, and it wasn't. There were some nuances that she didn't share. So I feel like a part of my responsibility of, obviously I'm not a big YouTuber like she is, but I feel like a part of my responsibility is to be honest about, my experiences. So everything is not fun. There are some times that things don't go right, and I think that you should be prepared.
When you're traveling to a country that has these stereotypes that, maybe it's not safe for women or for people traveling alone, what do you do to make sure that you are kept safe, that you and your group are safe during this travel?
I like to do a lot of realistic research. So obviously I'll look at YouTube, right? YouTube is a great starting point, but I think it's really good to, do research, read reviews. I'm a big proponent of writing reviews. So I write reviews on every country and every place I stay. And I think it's important to read reviews, and don't just read the good ones, but read the bad ones. And a lot of times when you read them, they'll correlate. It's just that someone else may have perceived something as good or bad, where someone else didn't. A lot of times some of these other countries, depending on where they are, or how rural the place is, and the access to internet and TV, they have a very, very minute and knowledge about our country. So I think it's important for us to do our due diligence to learn and educate ourselves, and then just be respectful. Be respectful and be safe, and be responsible.
Definitely. And when you arrive to these airports in these countries, do they offer you any information like phone numbers to police or firefighters, or just a safety precaution?
Usually I will tell people to, one, know where the American embassy is, if there is one. A lot of times the local authorities may be less helpful than the locals. So that's why I say that you should really do your research. I had an incident in one country with some friends where we ran into a pretty serious issue, and the police actually were no help.
Let's go ahead and turn over to a lighter side, okay? To a lighter side. So you've been to so many places. If you can take your whole family there, nice family trip, where would you go for a family trip?
Japan.
Japan?
Japan, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why Japan?
Well, because I think Japan it has something for everyone.
Yeah.
It's, if I was taking my family somewhere, I really would want them to experience what it's like to really truly go to another country. And I love Europe, but Europe and the US has a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
So, but I think Japan would be amazing because it's going to be a culture shock. Yeah. It's going to be so different, but it's so fun. I mean, if you're into comic books or action figures or Pokemon, which I'm in all of those things. I love all of those things. So, I can just imagine taking kids or loved ones with me. The food is so amazing, and it would just be a great experience. The people are so friendly. The crime rate is super, super low. It's very safe there. So I wouldn't hesitate, taking family there. And, if my kids or nieces or nephews or whatever were running around, I wouldn't be afraid, because Japan's such a safe place. And, that's something you can look up. It's statistically proven. It's just a really safe place. So I think that would be one place. And it would be so many really cool things that they can see. And one thing I really love is that adults can dress up in a Pikachu costume and go to the mall. And it's okay. And people don't look at you like you're weird. You can really truly be yourself. If you have a son that's into race cars, you can see them. A lot of the Japanese guys with their souped up, painted race cars. Like, there's just so many cool things that a family could experience there.
So the family to Japan. Okay, what about a couple? Nice romantic getaway.
I would say, I said Greece earlier. I think Greece is absolutely amazing. I think Greece is a perfect romantic getaway. I specifically liked Athens.
Nice. Okay.
It's really nice. Another place that's really, really cool and romantic is Cyprus. Cyprus is a little island.
Yeah.
It's, you know where that is?
Yeah.
So it's a little island off in the Mediterranean, and it's not only is it beautiful, and you can do a lot of aquatic adventurous things, but the food is so amazing, and it's just beautiful views all around, and it's really, really relaxing. Just a lot of fun. So.
And speaking of aquatics, do you enjoy, going out on the boat or jet skis or maybe a nice sunset cruise?
I do. Yeah. So I really love being on the water. I had the chance when I was in Egypt to go, and jump into the Red Sea. I didn't go diving.
Wow.
Yeah, but I didn't go diving, but some of my friends did. But I got to jump into the Red Sea, and that was super awesome. Wow. That was a great experience. I got a chance to have dinner and lunch on a boat in the River Nile. That was really amazing. So I went to, in Venice, on the water, just riding through the canals. Amsterdam has some canals that I got to go through. So I really love being on the water. It's really amazing. So I've had some great adventures on the water. So it was really nice. And
what about animals? Have you experienced any animal encounters in the ocean and on land?
So this is so funny. So when I was in Australia, a friend of mine and I were walking, and we had saw some huge bats. It was 3 of us, but we saw some huge bats, and I forgot what kind of building we were in front of, but this building had a fire pit, and there were these giant bats that were circling this pit in downtown Melbourne. And it was kind of scary, right? So we were walking to go back to our Airbnb, and I had my light. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was filming or something, and I flashed my light at a tree, and I saw some eyes. And I wanted to try to look, and then I saw another 2 sets of eyes. And then I turned my flashlight on my phone on bright, and it was like over a dozen possums in a tree with these, yes. And they're not like the possums that we have here in the States where they look like giant rats. They're actually really cute. But they were super scary because they have these huge black eyes, and they were in the tree, and we were right under the tree. So I freaked out. I dropped my light, or either moved or did something with my hands. The light hit my friend in the face. He thinks I blinded him on purpose to sacrifice him so I could get away. I hauled ass and I ran because it was so many of them. It was terrifying. I forgot what happened to him. Somehow he caught up with me, but he was really upset with me because he really, really thinks that I flashed a light in his face on purpose. But it was pretty scary. And then I didn't know what they were at the time. So I had to look it up, and then I found out that, there's lots of different types of possums. And that was one of them. Wow. And it looks nothing like the possums that we have here in the States. So it was pretty funny, but it was definitely a very memorable moment.
Possums and bats.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yes.